Let us take an example case to practice the first 4 steps of a human rights assessment. We will go through one worked out example and then let you practice yourself. Problem statement. People in community A allege that they are being terrorized by a local gang. They complain that they have been living in fear of the members of this gang and do not feel secure. Members of the community approach your human rights organization and request help in addressing the situation. How will you proceed in making a human rights assessment? What facts will you gather? What questions will you ask? Step 1. Identify the issue or problem. You will need to ask the following questions. 1. What? What is the nature of threat to the security of the community members? Have there been instances of harm caused to life and property? How many? Have there been instances of sexual harassment or sexual assault? How many? 2. Who are the affected persons? Is the gang targeting women and children in particular? Is the community being targeted because of their ethnicity or religion or nationality or race or their political view or any other such status? 3. Where? Where do these incidents of violence or threat occur? Within the community? What is the location of the community? 4. When? Since when has this problem been continuing? What is the time period? 5. Why? Who is allegedly responsible for such crimes? Is it a gang of criminals? Who are the members of this gang? Do they have any political affiliations? Has any complaint been made to the police? If yes, when was such a complaint made? What actions did the police take? Does the problem continue to exist because no complaint was made to the police? Or does the problem exist because the police does not want to take any action? If it is the latter, then why? Step 2. Identify the rights involved. Based upon the facts gathered about the problem, identify the rights involved. All persons have the basic freedom to live their lives without fear. In order to enjoy this freedom, each person enjoys the right to equal protection of the law. This right is recognized in Article 26 of the ICCPR. Find answers to the following. Is the right to equal protection of the law guaranteed under the National Constitution? Has the state ratified the ICCPR? Step 3. Identify how it is an issue of human rights violation. To respond to the how, identify the state obligations. In order to ensure the right to equal protection of the law, the state is under an obligation to establish protection mechanisms and to ensure that all persons are able to access justice through such mechanisms. Commonly, the state enacts criminal laws that protect individuals from the harmful actions of others. The state also provides for law enforcement machinery that is duty-bound to maintain law and order and provide protection to the people. This includes obligation of the law enforcement to take measures to prevent violations of the law, take measures to investigate allegations of violations, and based on such investigations, initiate appropriate proceedings against persons accused of committing the violations. Next, you need to apply these principles to the facts gathered while trying to identify the issue. In your assessment, revisit the questions we asked before. Does the problem exist because no complaint was made to the police? In such a case, what was the nature of the actions that the gang was accused of? Was it of such seriousness or magnitude that local police of the area ought to have known in their duty of maintaining law and public order? If yes, then the police can be said to have failed in its duty as law enforcement officers. If no, then it can be said to be a law and order issue, and the first action must be to file a complaint about the incident before the law enforcement agencies. Does the problem exist because the police does not want to take any action? If yes, then it could be said that the police not only failed in its duty to maintain law and order, but also was complicit in the actions of the alleged wrongdoers. In both such cases, the state has an obligation to exercise due diligence and initiate investigation against the police, and based on such investigation, initiate proceedings against them, and to appoint capable officers who can address the law and order situation in the community. In case the state fails to take such actions, then it can be said to have violated its obligation to protect. Step 4. Identify the duty bearers. Based on the above assessment, identify the duty bearers. In this case, you may need to identify the agency or unit in law enforcement which has the authority to review the performance of officers stationed in the local community.